Good evening. I'm cozy in my bed and I'm going to try and add my guests for this evening. It's midnight over here, so, and it's waiting. I'm trying to add. I'm pushing the button. Let me see what I can do. You're gone.
Hello.
I'm trying to add you, Kim.
Hi, Mary.
Thank you, John. I'm trying to, but first I have to add Kim. If it works. It did work a few hours back, but the button isn't working. I try again. Let me try it again. Yes, maybe this time it will work. I'm pushing the screen again. Oh my god. Facebook isn't liking me. Good evening, everyone. I'm trying to add Kim. It really doesn't work. Let me see if it's working now. Hi, Marilyn. Oh, your internet is also acting up. Over here it's also acting up.
Hello, can you see us?
I'm trying to add. Het zit vandaag niet mee, Thea. Nee, klopt. Ik heb nou bovenin het knopje staan om toe te voegen. En daar zit ik als een idioot op te drukken. En hij doet het gewoon niet. Ik druk mezelf weg. Good evening, everyone. I'm trying to add Kim. Let's try again.
Hey, can you
Hi,
see us?
everyone. Good evening.
Mary?
Facebook is just
Hello.
not cooperating. We did it a few hours back. Hi, everyone. Hi, Marilyn. Yes, I see David too. I see a button upstairs, but it's saying add, but it doesn't work. Ja, Lisette. Ik weet, iedereen is er gewoon. I try again. Hi, Karen. Yeah, I know you're there, but the button isn't working. Oh my God, I really trying to do anything I can. So please send me an invite again. Good evening, Gary. Yes. Lisette, kwam ze in beeld dan? Doe even antwoord geven. Ja. Hij gaat bij mij niet eens verbinding leggen. Zo. Ik probeer nu echt alles. I'm trying everything what I can do. So, Kim or David, please. We try again. If you can accept. Ik zag het niet. Dus ik ga heel even geduldig. I will try that. Yes. Now I'm trying a different, another connection. So, we try again. He's trying to connect. Yes.
Gotcha. Hello? You there?
Trying a different. Hi.
So, hi. Hi, we're switching phones. Can you hear us?
Yes, I do hear you. I hope I don't have an echo like earlier this week.
No, I think
okay.
Good. Hi, Mary.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Being the vampire again of the internet.
We want to thank you for letting us be on your show, Mary. We appreciate it.
You're more than welcome. It's an opportunity for me, a very great opportunity. So you post so much, and I'm a big fan of all the EVPs. For sure, I have a favorite. You know that.
Yes.
Your Munchkin.
Oh yeah, Munchkins. Yes.
Yeah, they're my favorite. They really are. I like those voices.
Yeah, we get a good variety of different ones, from human to, like you said, the Munchkins and everything in between.
Yeah, and the things they say, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I'm almost pissing myself.
Yeah, a lot of that. Lately, we haven't heard them the last couple of days, but lately they've been kind of having a little bit of a potty mouth, so we had to kind of let them know that's not appropriate. So,
well,
okay.
It seems too, after our last ghost box session, that when my boy's father came through, deceased father came through, it's almost like he kind of took control over the bad spirits, and we had those so much.
Aha.
Hi,
yeah,
Betsy.
I had it too last week. Yeah. He someone told me you have two boobs. So it touched me. So I said, I don't want you to touch me. And the only remark I got was fuck. So I told him I didn't want to hear that. Yeah. I didn't want to hear the fuck word. Yeah.
I'm kind of hitting a couple of the share buttons so we can make sure everybody gets in here.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
So are you ready for your trip to Greece?
Almost, almost. Most of my things are packed. I have my swimming suit and my dresses and my high heels. So, yeah,
Okay, ready to go.
yeah, almost ready to go. Yeah, but still I have to sleep tonight.
So you're leaving tomorrow?
No, no, Friday,
All right.
Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and just one person over there is familiar with when I'm coming and with whom I'm coming, and the rest, it's a big surprise. So I had to be a small detective to find out some stuff and not letting them know I'm coming because I have about 20 friends living over there.
No, okay.
So it will
I
be,
hope I didn't
yeah.
let the cat out the bag.
Yeah, so I will be on front of their nose saying surprise.
There you go.
So that's funny. That's really funny. But we're not talking
Oh,
about
I'm sorry.
my
Go ahead.
vacation to Greece. We are going to talk about Elm Street.
Yes. Yes, we
Yes.
actually live on Elm Street. It is haunted. We don't have Freddy Krueger, thank God,
No.
and stuff. So basically, Kim's lived here for about over 20 years. I've been here about 6 years, and it seems that when we finally moved in together about 6 years ago, the activity really started to spike. And probably in October 2017, we decided to get security cameras because we were having a lot of poltergeist activity.
Okay.
So we went, yeah, stuff being thrown across the room. We've even had stuff levitate to, where. So we decided, well, it might be a good idea to get some cameras. Maybe we might catch some activity. And probably within 3 hours of getting the cameras, we caught activity, and ever since then, it's been every single day. Um, what I'll do is a lot of the people that are on here now have seen a lot of our stuff, but I'm going to put a little package together and put it on your site, and that way, they can hear the EVPs, they can see the evidence. Right now, we have probably over 500 plus videos of paranormal activity in about 100 EVPs, a lot of them Class A, and um, a lot of full conversations where the spirits go back and forth, and
Yeah.
yeah, definitely very, very interesting. Um, and so far, I think we have 38 named spirits that we know them by name, where they've said
That's
their name in the EVPs. And it's like it's like a big jigsaw puzzle that we're trying to put together. And we just added a new piece of equipment. We had got a ghost box from Supernatural Inc. from KD.
yeah. Yeah, from KD. Yeah.
Right, and we're getting a lot of really good information from that also. We had a session the other night where we found that there were 8 trapped spirits that were in our house. We asked, and I think we got 6 of their names, uh, but they were basically saying that that they were trapped, and we're trying to figure out either how we can help them or how they became trapped. But we do have a huge portal in our house, and it's kind of like Central Station here. Is we get people with spirits coming and going all the time. Recently, we had 3 occasions where we actually had 3 people that had recently passed away in our back. But I was going to the store, and when I got in the car, I heard from the back seat someone say, "My name is Robert." Now, of course, I kind of turned around and there was nobody there. So I said, okay, well, that's happened to me quite a few times. So I said, okay, Robert, how are you? And so when I went to the store, when I went up to the front counter, I happened to look down and I saw an obituary for a Robert Haynes. And all of a sudden, it's kind of like I knew that the connection between it, and it was like a flood of emotion. I even started to cry, and of course, I had to make an excuse for the guy at the counter. I had something in my eye, I didn't know. So I kind of went home, and we looked his name up, and he had recently died. And he's a veteran also, and I'm a veteran also, so I didn't know if that was a connection. But I was sitting in it, and I decided, I said, we have outside cameras. I said, well, let me look at my outside cameras. So I started looking at it, and I'll post this on your site also so everybody can see it. Uh, as I'm getting in the car, you can actually see a face in the back seat. And I called Kim. I said, Kim, you got to come look at this. And when we compared it to his photo, it's like a younger version of him, but you could actually see his face in the back seat.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. I was pretty shocked by it because he had just passed. So it was shocking. But, David sees spirits, like he's looking at you. Now I can see him in my mind's eye, but, like I tell him I'm kind of jealous because he gets to see him like he's looking, like he's looking at him. So,
Yeah.
it's pretty neat.
Well, what's really neat, Mary, is she can actually describe them, from her mind's eye. So over the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've had 3 occasions where there's someone had passed away in our town, and we pick them up on EVP. So, it's kind of like I said earlier, it's kind of like Central Station here. Is we get a lot of stuff coming and going.
In fact, the last 3 names that we've gotten that have came through, they're not what we call our regulars, but the ones lately that have come through in the Ghost Box session or that we've recorded the EVPs, when I've Googled their names, now I don't know, you can't really tell if that's them or not, but the last 3 names that we've gotten, they all were buried in our veteran cemetery.
Which is not too far from us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
See, our town,
almost, yeah.
we have a very old Confederate cemetery here in town. In fact, we have Confederate Park, the Confederate Cemetery, and it goes way back. And then we have, of course, the new Veteran Cemetery also. But there's a lot of history. Of course, the Civil War was fought in this area and the surrounding Lexington area. We also have a lot of what's the train that brought the children here?
Oh, yeah, there's a connection. They had what was called the orphan trains. And basically what the orphan trains was it started back in New York City where they had all these orphans, and this one pastor decided that he wanted to help. So they started putting these orphans on trains and shipping them across the United States. Now, Higginsville, where we live, had the orphan train stop there. So, but the problem with what happened, unfortunately, is a lot of the children were mistreated and basically child slavery, unfortunately.
Well, we haven't been able to document it as yet, but the orphan train came through here, and a lot of children were dropped off here in Higginsville. And of course, we've got children's spirits that have spoken here. But since this was a mining town and several of the mine shafts were in our area, close to our house, and our our whole area is nothing but mine shafts under
Mm-hmm.
under, and we kind of wonder if some of those children weren't used in the mines, the coal mines, as child labor. One little kid that we picked up here, um, the EVPs, we have many, many EVPs of
Right.
him. Jacob, we believe that he worked in the brothel that burnt down close
Okay.
to our home.
Right.
But I've always felt that we have a grave in the yard. And I've always felt that there's one area, and I walk by it, and I could just feel it. And there's kind of a depression in the ground too that I kind of covered over with some rocks and things like that. But I don't know how we could find out for sure, but I just do feel that there is something.
We also had a Civil War soldier a couple of days ago come across, and we asked him, what, and he said he was a Union soldier, and we asked him how did he die, and he said in the neck, and then we asked where are you, and he said in the grave. So we don't know if that's a connection to maybe he's buried on our property. But that night we did get an EVP of him trying to talk, and what he was saying was it hurts.
Yeah, he said hurts, and you could hear it was just very difficult for him to get it out. I mean, it was
like someone who had
someone that was wounded in the neck. It really tore us up.
Yeah, it made us, it sounded so sad, but he was trying to, communicate, which we have on EVP, which we'll share, when we do to your site. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
And that's just as you know. Oh, go ahead, Mary. I'm sorry.
Yeah. For the ones who are looking at the videos and the EVPs, sometimes you hear a bear on the background.
Yeah.
You
mean the snoring?
She's snoring.
No, I don't. Yes, I do.
Well, we do that on purpose so you know who the living is and who the spirits are. So we snore.
Yeah.
So you can eliminate.
It's a ghost trap. I know.
It is. And sometimes
yeah,
it's hard to get the EVPs away from the snoring, but
yeah, we've got quite good at being able to listen to the snore and pick out the EVPs. It's from a lot of practice.
Yeah.
But in between you do hear the EVPs.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And one I like very much was that voice which was telling, I think it's human.
Oh yeah, we've been having a really interesting battle between like non-human spirits and spirit, and they're kind of like been battling back and forth. And we get their EVPs, and I think one of them said, "Oh look, it's human," and then the human spirit goes, "You're not getting me this time." And it's like a little battle they got going back and forth. And then you have the Munchkins.
Well, the Munchkins, the one that likes to insult us and call us pigs and
all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. But I like them, the Munchkins.
Oh yeah, they're kind of funny.
They do remind me of the movie Lord of the Rings.
They do, like
Gollum. Yeah, they sound like Gollum.
The only thing missing is my precious. We haven't heard that one yet, but
yeah, maybe you can teach him.
Well, true. Yeah. They do listen. I mean, we've asked questions. Yeah. A day or two later, we get an answer. So it's kind of interesting. Listen.
Yeah, it's cool. You have a very active area over there, and because of the mine shafts, so many deaths over there, the Civil War, so much is going on over there. You
Yeah.
also had a team coming in for an investigation. Did I
Yeah, we
get
have
that right?
right. Yeah, we have 3 teams that will be coming in to investigate. So
Yep. Paranormal Task Force, Supernatural Inc., and
Yeah.
KC Paranormal.
right. So which a lot of them know the guys. So and Renee's
Yeah.
going to be also. So.
Yep. Yep. Renee,
Yeah.
she'll be coming through here.
I'm
Yeah,
so jealous now.
yeah, she's helped out a lot. Identify, she identified a spirit named Catherine. It's got kind of a sordid.
Crush. She
Well,
has crush on him.
but she's not a very nice person. Uh, uh, what she does is she gets other spirits, and they've been insulting us and calling us really bad, nasty names. And so when we talked to Renee, she came and gave us some great information that it's a woman named Catherine, which we've already picked up her name before in the EVPs, but evidently she had in her past was jilted by some man, and she went ahead and she had got interested in another gentleman, and we believe this was in the 1800s, I believe, and what she did was she had hired people to kill the wife or the girlfriend. So she's been kind of after Kim.
She doesn't like
She
me,
doesn't like Kim.
But yeah, from what Renee's picked up, she's after David. She wants me out of the way. And yeah. So she didn't get in her way.
Well, once we found her out, we basically told her and her minions, as we call them, they're not allowed in our house. That they're banished, and we do have detectors. We've actually had detectors come across in EVPs that you can actually hear them saying, get back. You're not allowed here. You need to leave. So we do. We have God on our side, of course, but we do have detectors and evidently a gatekeeper, because we keep getting EVPs from someone who calls himself the gatekeeper, which is, we believe, watches the portal.
Yes, so. And we've caught several portals opening and closing.
Also, I
think you've probably seen them, Mary.
Yeah, I've seen one once. Yeah.
Yeah, the first time we caught it, it was on the ceiling in our bedroom, and it literally, you could almost see ripples in it, and it was pretty interesting. And since then, we've caught several other, and they'll open, and then they'll close pretty quickly, and then the last we've, for some reason, I smoke, so I go in the front bedroom to smoke because David's allergic to it. So I just keep that room closed off. And there's been 2 or 3 instances where, of course, we leave the camera on in there. And, there's been 2 or 3 instances where I've got up to walk out. And when I've got up to walk out, it's like part of me is gone.
It's really weird, Mary. We'll show you what we're talking about.
Yeah, and in one, it's the picture is literally going. The picture that I have on the wall is literally going through me, and one that we just got the other day, I literally have a part of an arm and a hand reaching around my face.
It's freaky, really freaky.
It is freaky.
I believe you.
You got an arm reaching around you, and I'm like, okay.
Wasn't my arm.
Wasn't my arm either.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see behind me the outline of someone. And so we'll post those. We haven't posted those anywhere yet.
Okay.
One reason I was in my pajamas. So didn't really
great and everything.
But, good thing she had pants on.
But yeah. But
yeah.
anyway, we'll post those because they are very interesting.
Yeah.
I've not seen that effect before, and it always kind of has to do with me. Right. And then I did a session, just a recording.
Oh my God, I had an ad coming through. Facebook is really, really. Now I lost you. I'm going to find you again. I hope you're coming back. And ben ik nog in beeld? Am I still in the picture? Because Facebook broke it off. Ja. Oké, gelukkig. Disconnect. They throw me out.
It was the ghost.
I think so. I think so. They don't like me.
No.
No, just kidding. Just kidding. Thank you, Marilyn. I take this opportunity to say hi to Aaron, James, Marilyn, yes. Kim. I think I have everyone now. So we're back, and
hey, Betsy.
we're still talking about your ghosts. Hi, Gary. Yeah, she's dropping in so now and then. She looks great. She really does. But she feels better this way, and it's okay.
Well, there's just not room for both of us, but yeah, I'm here. Yeah, like this side of my face still isn't working properly, and because this side still doesn't work.
Yeah, but I don't see it that clear. Maybe you just see it yourself because it's changed for you.
Yeah.
I don't notice it that well.
Well, that's good because
yeah.
But it's just I like togetherness, but anyway, where were we?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mary. Go ahead.
Yeah, you were selling about the ghost. Now there's a question popping up.
Oh yeah,
Kim,
we're new to this.
What?
Sorry.
Yeah. It's not popping up in the remarks in the comments, but it's my question. Kim is living for 20 years in that house, and you moved in 6 years ago. Was there a time that any one of you were scared?
You want to go first, maybe?
I have never been scared of spirits. I've always kind of been around them pretty much my whole life.
Yeah.
So I've never feared spirits, not even the ones that attacked me, which I have been attacked, twice in bed. And then if you consider things getting thrown at me many, many times, because I had that happen a lot. So, that's never been part of me to be afraid of spirit, because I've always looked at it like, they were people that passed on. I do know that there are non-human spirits, and I think we have some of those coming through here a lot now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't fear them either. I think, when you fear them, you give them power, and I don't know. It's just not in me. Now, David had, when he first moved here, he was touched in the shower by a spirit, and
Okay.
yeah.
Not in a good way. let me get that straight.
I see pictures
Well,
now in my head.
It was 2013.
Yeah.
You tell them the story.
I was in the shower, and I felt a pair of hands, come down my arms and shoulders. I thought it was Kim kind of sneaking into the shower. I was like, oh yeah. Well, when I turned around, there was nothing there. All of a sudden, I just got this, something, just took over my body, and I got the worst feeling you could ever imagine of dread and horror. And I've never experienced anything like that. And I believe now it was probably a minor possession that happened. I didn't sleep 3 days after that because I felt like I was losing control of my body. And it got so bad that it felt like my arms weren't my own, because I would get angry, I would get upset, I would get irritated. And it felt like I just wanted to lash out. And I would actually sit on my hands because I was afraid that my arm would just lash out. So for about 3 months, I battled that, and praying and to God and trying to figure out what was going on. And eventually, I was able to break that. And I haven't experienced anything like that since. But it's hard to describe. I met one of the gentlemen for Casey Paranormal, Jan. He experienced something like that. And when we were talking about it, he said the same thing about that he would sit on his hands because he felt like if he didn't, his arms would just lash out.
Yeah, it was pretty uncanny, the similarities of what the possession did to both of them, because they both, when they were comparing notes, it was almost exactly what David went through.
Right. So.
And yeah, it was awful. I mean, he wouldn't sleep. I'd make him go to bed, and he would just kind of lay there in a fetal position, and
it was terrible.
It was terrible. And then a lot of talking and praying. He finally got that off of him. But he was kind of like ripe for the picking, because it knew that it hadn't been able to get me. And he had some things going, happen to him when he was, growing up and stuff too paranormal. But I don't think he was used to the kind of paranormal activity.
Well, it happened in a blink of an eye. When I was standing, and when I turned around, it was like something went, and instantly it was just this most terrible feeling. So, but now, we protect ourselves, we set boundaries, we understand, we've grown with this, we've had a lot. I mean, it's a daily thing for us. Every single day, all day long, stuff is happening. So we learn to protect ourselves and put boundaries.
Yeah. And only by prayers, or do you use other protection?
We do prayer a lot. We verbally set our boundaries. We do use salt for certain things. We put salt underneath our bed to help, try to soak up
salt water
to, we ourselves. I use salt and lavender, and when we take a shower and stuff, to try to clean, from any sort of attachments or hitchhikers, because that's we don't really have anybody over to our house for that reason. Is where we don't want them to be attached, and we don't want them to have any sort of hitchhikers, or
Yeah.
because we've both experienced that, and that's the last thing we want to happen.
I've actually picked up spirit hitchhikers along the highway, and
Yeah, she drives a truck for a living, so
yeah, and that was that's always quite a shock, to say the least.
Hey,
Yeah.
Marilyn, we do set boundaries every single day in our prayers. We do every single night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you need to set boundaries. You do. Yeah.
Yes, definitely we do, and then and sometimes the boundaries have worked, and sometimes they haven't. So.
Yeah. So you just keep trying until you get it. We haven't heard over the last 3 or 4 days since we pretty much told the negative spirits they need to take a hike. It's been pretty quiet, but we're always on guard.
And then we have our light entities.
Yeah. Tell me more about that.
There's Leda.
There's our spiritual kitty.
She is our spirit kitty.
She's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, another thing that we found out once we got the cameras is and once again, we'll post these, for everybody to see so they understand what we're talking about. I mean, we do get spirit orbs and stuff like that, but we also get another, we call them light creatures. And we believe they're actually interdimensional light creatures that come from different dimensions. And you've seen them. They're very unique. We haven't found anything on the internet yet that looks anything like them. Because believe me, we searched to see, has anyone else seen these light creatures? And like I said, I think we have almost 500 videos, and right now we've documented over about 95 different types of them. And we'll put we have like a montage of all the different ones, and we'll put it on your site. But
Yeah.
every one of those are videos, so these are actually, you see them flying, you see them moving. They
Yeah.
go all parts of the house. Some can be as large. We had one that was probably about 40 inches across and 20 inches wide. And it's really kind of neat because they're very beautiful. And another thing that's kind of helped when we record them is they come back. It's not like you see one and that's it. They come back time and time again. And we think we have like 20 names for them. We name them.
We do.
So we know, we have one, the flying potato chip, 2 stripers, 3 stripers, and of course Kim's favorite, the one that kind of looks like a
dildo. You've seen that, haven't you?
Well, kind of looks like a.
I've seen it.
Of course, that's her favorite. And they always fly on the side of the bed.
They always come from my side of the bed.
Yeah, and the one who came out of the mirror.
Yes.
I saw it last week, I think.
Yeah, we actually caught another one the day after that one, also coming out of the mirror.
Yeah.
We believe they use the portal in the house, and the bedroom, of course, is the most active. We do have them, throughout the house, but of course where the portal is. And we've been trying to catch, because we see them flying towards the mirror, and we were finally able to catch them actually coming out of the mirror, which I thought was pretty neat. And they make sound.
They do.
They have a unique sound.
Some of them have a tinkling sound. Some of them, we've actually had some that even kind of make a bang when they hit the wall. Just they're really different. I would love to have someone be able to tell us what they were.
Yes. Yeah. So far, no one's been able to, kind of figure out what exactly they are. But what's kind of interesting was when we would post them, we would have a few people. One person said, "Oh, it's a slinky." The toy, the slinky that goes up and down. It's like
Yeah.
it goes up down the steps. So we don't just we actually try to duplicate them. We've tried the slinky, we tried dust, we tried cat fur, we tried strings,
toilet
paper,
Yeah.
and we can't duplicate them or even come close to duplicate them. And so,
no, and they definitely fly. And another one of my favorites was one. We have that bird painting behind the headboard that I did, and the bird just glides out of that painting and through the room. But we've actually seen those with our eyes too, laying in bed.
With the lights off as we're getting ready for bed, a lot of times how you'll see them, Mary, is you'll see a flash. And you'll see a flash of movement, or you'll see we call them fireflies. And a couple of times we've actually had where we're sitting and I think I just saw one. And then, it's corroborated because you see one flying on the video. So they're very, very interesting. And of course we get the orbs all the time.
Yeah, you do. You do get so much on video. It's just amazing. It really is amazing. And it's showing to everyone that not all orbs are
Right.
dust or insects or moist, whatever you call it. For sure, they're for real, even with EVP attached to it.
Oh yeah, that's very common.
Yeah.
With the light creatures and the orbs, they also have EVPs with them. Oh, we
Yeah.
had one that happened the other day. I don't remember if you saw our post where we had a spirit interacting with our cats or one of our cats.
Yeah.
Well, there's one
Yeah.
that we caught that we'll post because it just happened where actually an orb comes and it goes right across the back of the cat, and the cat reacts to it. And it also, what did it say in that one? It had a I think it's a Hello Kitty or something like that. Or, I don't know.
Not Hello Kitty.
What was it?
Gosh, I can't remember.
There's like 6 EVPs. We had one. We were coming home and we have a hallway camera. And as we're coming in the door, you see Leda, the one you saw earlier. She starts to go towards the door, and you hear an EVP go, "Move, kitty," because the door was open and the door would have hit the kitty, and it was like the spirit was looking after her.
Yes, that was pretty cool.
It was pretty neat because it was like, and the cat reacted to it. The cat stopped.
Yeah.
And so it's.
Yeah, in fact,
we should charge rent.
Yeah, maybe you should. But most people do like those pictures and the frame by frame of the light anomalies and anomalies, the sheets of toilet paper, Marilyn called it. Yeah.
Well, we're as you know, we're very open. We believe in sharing, and it's all about learning the truth, and it's been an adventure. I tell you, it really has. And we thank we have a lot of really good friends that follow along with us, and we consider them family, just like you, Mary. And we're taking the journey together. It's not just me and Kim. It's you and the rest of our friends, and I mean, we love you all, and we thank you for your support. I really did.
Yeah, but after all, we are looking for the same thing, and it's amazing that you are sharing all the evidence you have, And it's not by saying, look what I've got, but look, guys, try and debunk it and try to explain it and help me with it. And
Right.
everyone is respecting each other in the circle, at least the contacts we have.
Right.
Yes.
There are always some douchebags amongst them, but most of all are very respectful and very interested. Yeah.
Marilyn had asked, we actually had spirits. We have an Alexa, Amazon Echo, and Marilyn was asked, we had interaction with. I don't know that. There she goes. She just spoke. Where spirits had interacted with it, and Marilyn asked, "Is that still happening?" And yes, because it just happened.
Well, that's because you said her name.
Well, but I mean, there was one where we're in the living room and we hear Alexa in the bedroom go, what was it, good night, or talk to you later.
Yeah, talk to
she
you
said,
later.
Talk to you later. And we're like, okay, we didn't say it. We're like in 2 rooms away. So the Alexa app actually keeps a record of what Alexa says. And on that particular record, it said that Alexa asked herself a question, which is impossible.
Okay, here's question of the day.
All right. Alexa, stop. But to make a long story short, I actually contacted Amazon engineer and said, can Alexa talk to her? Oh, there we go. Shh. Can she talk to herself? And he says he's never heard of that. So something was talking to it to make it respond to say that. And it was just kind of, I don't know, interesting anomaly. And it's happened a few times, that they use different, means of electronics to ask questions. And
yes, in fact, I've even been on the phone with my mother and had spirits come through on our conversation quite clearly, which was really amazing. And both times they were kind of mocking my mother. So, it kind of blew her away, and she didn't like it really. She said, you guys might not mind that in your house.
Don't bring it over here.
Don't bring it here. But I didn't bring it there. It came through the phone.
Yeah, and it's possible to move by phone. Yeah, we know that.
Mm-hmm.
Also by internet. We did a ghost box session in the Netherlands, and we had contact with Scotland. And it was amazing. It really was amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like, each day it's something new. It's like another piece of the puzzle. Like Jacob, which we talked about earlier. He's probably if you go by how clear he talks in the EVPs, if you go by strength, he is by far his EVPs come out perfectly clear. Other EVPs, we have to work with to try to, we'll amplify the volume or something. But for some reason, he's, I would say, probably the most powerful spirit here. If you go by how clear he comes across when he talks. And we think he's about how old, baby?
I'd say he's anywhere between 7 and 9. And
just a little one.
Yeah, just a little one. He likes to whistle. At first, you could hear him. You could tell he was, just learning to whistle, and now he whistles better. So he's been practicing, so he's whistling better. Mm-hmm. Another thing he likes to do is, play games. So, but go ahead.
Oh, well, probably to me, if you ask me what my most amazing experience would have to be probably about a year, maybe 2 years ago, concerning Jacob. I was laying in the bed, it was in the afternoon, and I'm just kind of sitting there relaxing, and my cat Tiger, I was kind of rubbing, playing with him, and I hear behind me a little boy go, "Yoo-hoo!" And I mean, the cat jumped up, I jumped up, so I turned around, and immediately I got up. I went outside to make sure, there was no kids outside. So I said, okay, well, that was kind of interesting. So it's about 2 hours later, and I go into the kitchen, and I was cleaning the kitchen floor, and where the kitchen sits, you have the hallway to the basement, and it's the door there, and I hear behind the door, "Yoo-hoo," and laughing. So I'm like, it's right there. I'm like 3 feet away from this, and I said, but the thing is that's alarm. We have security alarms, and that thing is alarmed. I mean, for you to open that door, it would set off our alarms. So
Yeah.
I go, there's somebody in the basement. So I went ahead and I punched in the code, went downstairs into the basement, and there's really no way out of the basement. So if there's somebody there, you're not going to get away. So I go down there, and I don't see anything, and I look, and I'm like, okay. So I said, we have Simply Safe, and they keep a log of everything. So I said, I'm going to go check the log. And sure enough, the log says that there were 2 people down there, but it was just me.
Yeah.
And so there was something that physically set off the motion detectors downstairs before I even went downstairs. So it was that I still get goosebumps, from that story. I could even feel because I was on the floor and I was kind of scrubbing the floor, and when he laughed and ran down the steps, I could feel the vibration of him running on the floor. So I really thought, Mary, that somebody was in my basement.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I believe that. I would have the same thing. Yeah.
yeah.
For sure, if the security were telling me there were 2 people downstairs, and I know for sure there's one, I would lock the basement, never go in again.
Well, we keep that basement door locked, and it's
Yeah.
also alarmed. So, but that was pretty interesting.
Well, because of the
Yeah.
physical the aspect of it, really, because I mean, literally, I could hear his voice, and then laughing probably about, I don't know, 8 feet away, and just to feel the floor vibrate when he's running down the steps. That really kind of, to me, that was like, that was something. I really thought somebody was in the basement. So, I'm like, there, our windows in the basement, they're sealed shut. There's nowhere you can, if you go down steps, that's where we go, if we have a tornado or something, but you can't, there's no exit. So, believe me, I looked inside the dryer, the washing machine. I looked everywhere. Everywhere
I
that
see
a
the whole
kid could
picture
go.
now. You're looking in the dryer, in the
No,
washing machine. Ooh.
I wasn't taking any chances. And it was kind of like grab the
No.
door and look back like this. Make sure.
Yeah.
I didn't want nothing jumping out at me.
No.
But that was
It's
probably the,
it's really too funny, too funny. I see a whole movie in my head.
yeah. Well, imagine I'm creeping down the steps trying to look around the corner, and so I'm
Yeah.
looking, I'm listening, and then I locked the door behind me so that nobody could, maybe sneak by me and I missed them. So they wouldn't have been able to get out. So, but I searched for, about 20 minutes to make sure there was nothing down there. And sure enough, it was. And then, like I said, when I saw the stuff from the alarm company, I mean, it was like, wow. So she was working at the time, so I actually had to call her. I said, Jacob's playing again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if something like that happens again now, Will you take the ghost box downstairs and do a EVP section or
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, now that we have it, because we've just recently got the ghost box, so yeah, we definitely would go down and do it. We really like the. Uh, we've never used like a ghost box before. Almost all of our evidence, all of our evidence is like unsolicited because they actually, we have cameras which have audio, and they actually leave the EVPs. We don't. We may ask a question like, you know, you know, who are you? And then eventually they'll leave it on one of the cameras and stuff. So,
Well, honestly, as far as the ghost boxes goes, I've never put too much credence in them. You watch the ghost hunter shows on TV and stuff, and they use the
Yeah.
ghost box. And I never put any credence in them. I thought, well, they might work, they might not. And then, when we went to some paranormal events and we got to witness them in action,
mhm.
then, and we saw that they were getting intelligent answers.
Yeah, definitely.
And so that was pretty much a turning point to us because it wasn't random answers. They were totally intelligent. In fact, they were naming names. In fact, we were with Jan of KC Paranormal.
And Katie of Supernatural.
And
we were
Katie.
doing a session with them and Katie and Stephanie.
Right. And, it was up in the attic at Shawnee Mission. Indian Mission. And, so we were all up in the attic there. And there were names of the young boys that were, that's where they used to sleep. And they would carve their names or write their names on the walls. And they were naming names of people that were written on the walls.
Right.
And that was pretty amazing. So after we got to experience it personally, then of course we had Katie Stafford build us one. So,
Yeah.
And we're definitely we're firm believers now because we got very very intelligent answers.
Yeah, he built us a good box.
Yeah, very good.
Because we do. In fact, we kind of experimented. My mother, she's had some paranormal activity from time to time, but it had been a while since she had, and it was a past gentleman that used to live there that passed away, and so we took our ghost box over there last weekend, and we had just done a ghost box session here the night before and got a whole lot of stuff. And so we took it over there, and I mean, it didn't throw out any words at all. I mean, it just did nothing.
So so it kind of, because she had no activity going on, so it kind of actually verified that hey, there's nothing going on. There's nothing going on.
Yeah. So it was a neat little experiment for us.
Yes.
But after all, we all experimenting with everything.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I do it also with the apps. I didn't believe in the apps. I thought I froze again. And now you're frozen. Okay, whole Facebook froze, I think. Are you still in, David? Am I back? Just a minute. Okay. He's connecting.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
We're connecting again.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We're switching phones.
I froze up big time. There's every now and then Annette coming by on both of my phones. Big time. There's every now and then Jane, I'm still waiting for the connection with Kim and David. I'm trying to add them, but Jane, I'm still all gone. Ja, hij doet het weer, Thea. Zo raar. Ik krijg iedere kwartier, 20 minuten een advertentie er doorheen. En dan blokt hij gewoon alles. Yes. I'm trying to add. Please send me another request. I'm trying to add you now. He's trying to connect. I'm just waiting.
Can you see
What's
us?
happening? The button is flickering, so I hope we can get a connection. It's a Facebook thing. So they put up an ad. En dat in een groep. Oh mijn god. Ik hoop dat we de connectie terugkrijgen. I hope we can reconnect. I don't see the request, David. Let me see if this works.
Hello.
I don't see the request. He's still searching for a connection. Hi Karen, leuk dat je er nog even bent. Ik ben er voor de tweede keer uitgeknipt. Dat het verhaal zo interessant is. Ik probeer toe te voegen. En hij weigert gewoon nu om contact te leggen. Let me see what I can do. Nope. He's not doing anything. He's not making a connection. I try. You're back.
Hello.
Yes.
Finally.
Hello.
Hi.
A friend told me when you're online for longer, they throw in ads.
Oh,
It's
really?
a Facebook thing. Yeah, I don't like it at all.
I don't either.
That's rude.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't want to see the ads.
No. It's not like they got enough money to begin with.
Yeah, they're rich enough. They don't need my money.
That's true.
I need my money.
Oh,
for
yes.
a vacation and for a ghost box and for everything. I'm greedy.
Well, we have to be, don't we?
Yeah, for sure. If I want to come over to the States next year, I have to be greedy, very
Are you
greedy.
coming to the States next year?
I'm going to try. I talked to my boss last week, and it is possible for one time only to get a month off. So,
Well, if you're ever near Missouri, we got a dinner waiting for you.
oh my God, I love those dinners.
Oh, Kim's a fantastic cook.
Yeah, I think I have to have a fan if I'm coming over because everyone is telling me you have to drop by, you have to drop by.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
Well, if you want,
yeah, I don't need a hotel, just a van.
oh, yeah, just drop ahead.
Yeah.
Well, then you can see our spirits firsthand by yourself.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be really, really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Marilyn, of course.
Hey,
So,
Renee.
have you just a funny story to tell everyone what you have been? There's the ad again.
All
He
right.
did it again.
You're back.
Yeah. Are you froze?
No, we're good.
No. Okay, okay.
Good.
Oh,
Yeah, we hear you.
I almost dropped over here. I thought I lost you again.
No, we're here. I'll be sure.
Uh, yeah, but a very nice ghost story at the end.
All right. You were telling your story when you got froze. We never did. You finish it? No, we don't know.
I don't know.
Well, no,
I
no.
was
You
just
froze.
playing with my phone.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
well,
Yeah,
Hey,
so
Gary.
so if you come to the States, let us know and maybe we can work something out.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I will let know. That will be, I think, in May because I can't go in the main season. Just outside when everyone is still have to work and the kids are at school. So that's the only period I have some time off and permission to have time off. So that will be May, June, beginning of June, somewhere. But if I go over there, they have to keep the really dangerous animals away from me because I'm really scared of dangerous animals.
All right. Well, we're pretty safe here. We have cows and horses and stuff like that.
Okay, I do like them, but you have
Yeah.
spiders.
It's like we're in a farming area, so you'll be safe.
Yeah,
We'll keep you safe.
you make sure the spiders and the snakes are gone.
I will. She's definitely afraid of spiders.
Yes, I
Yeah,
don't
me
like.
too. I do
Yeah.
have arachnophobia.
So do I. So do I. I actually went to see that movie
Okay, okay,
and
we
screaming
can
like.
relate.
Yep. Yep.
Now I'm the designated spider killer, so
Yep.
I don't kill them. I don't. I
yeah.
just catch them and bring them outside. I don't
Yeah.
kill them.
Well, actually, I do that, but she says kill them. And
I
so,
do want. I want them dead.
Yeah, but they are dangerous over there. They're not dangerous over here. Not
right.
any spider I know.
Yeah, we do have the black widow.
Well, and
Yeah.
ramblers.
We have a couple, two of them in our area.
Yeah, and then we have the great big spiders. What are they? Those giant
Wolf spiders.
wolf spiders that get as big as a tarantula.
Well, I'll keep them away from
Oh,
you. I promise.
Okay. Because I will on top of your table.
Yeah.
I promise. I promise.
Well,
If that one is walking across the floor, I will be on top of your table.
Kim had one in the car, and I thought, that she
Oh
was
my
actually going
God.
to jump out the car while it was moving.
Well, it was dangling down right in front of my face. And
Yeah.
it was just a little bitty thing, but it was, on its spider web. So I told David, I said, there's a spider. And I mean, it was like right in front of my face. So what's he do? He speeds up for some reason, and the things come swinging back at my face. And, I'm like glued back as far as I could get in the back of the chair. And then he puts his brakes on, and then it goes like this, and then swings back in my face again. I was like ready. I was just ready to jump.
She screamed so loud you couldn't even hear it. It was like, oh. But I got it. I just grabbed a little web and put it out the door.
Yeah.
I can relate to that. Yeah, I really can. Just a tiny spider story. My daughter was about 6 months old, and I walked into the room because she was crying, and there was a spider on top of the crib. So I took her out of the crib. I ran into the living room, picked up my phone, and called my father, and he lived on the other side of the Netherlands, to come over at my place to catch the spider, because I wasn't going to lay down my daughter again in that crib. And he was searching for an hour before he finally found the spider. But he came.
Isn't it kind of an oxymoron that we're afraid of spiders but not spirits?
Yeah, I do hear that a lot. So you go on ghost adventures, you go on investigations. Someone was telling me you hunt ghosts and you're afraid of spiders. Yeah, I really am.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't like them.
Me
I
neither.
don't like them.
Nope, they're ugly, they're creepy, and they bite.
Yeah, and they're always running towards me.
Yes.
Always.
I understand.
Same thing with Kim. If there's a spider in the house, it's looking for her.
When we go out, sit on the
Yeah.
front porch, there won't be any spiders around Kim, and all of a sudden there'll be one coming down right in front of my face. It's like I'm a magnet for him.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Right away.
Where's your birds?
Yeah, where'd the birdies?
They are downstairs because I couldn't do the live. If I'm in the living room, the one is whistling and screaming kiekaboo all evening, and the other one is screaming and just yelling, "Mama, Mama, Mama." So we wouldn't be able to talk properly.
Gotcha.
Well, I understand
Yeah.
that.
Well, I'm surprised our cats haven't photobombed us.
I know.
Yeah, normally they'll be all over us. I'm surprised. I think they're sleeping. I see one
They
there.
are.
Yeah.
They are lazy cats.
Yeah, late is beside me.
It's sleeping time.
Yeah.
Believe me, in about another hour,
Almost all day.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're up looking for food.
Yeah. So, is anyone who's still watching has a question? That would be nice.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who has a
So,
question?
Thea, Marilyn, maybe a question. I saw Jane was still in. James is watching. So, has anyone a question? We will waiting because there's a delay. Still silence.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They're waiting for the evidence, what you will put in.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, there's Jen.
Ah.
Okay, what'd she say?
What do you think? Oh, I can't read it.
Jane says, what do you think is the one I like that looks like a big piece of folded paper?
Oh, that's the angel. That's the light creature we call the angel, because the way it flies, it's beautiful.
It does. It just glides.
Yeah, that will definitely be posted. That was probably the second light creature we saw, and it just blew me away because it's so beautiful. And what's interesting about the light creatures is their lines are so straight, and they're not like furry like fur or hair would look. They're crisp and straight, and time again they return exactly how they look. So some have been back 10, 15 times that we've seen. So
Yeah, we have one actually that it looks like it's really been through the ringer. It's all raggedy, and that's the only one of the light entities that we have that it looks like it's just been ran through the ringer. And it's been back several times, but we can identify it because it's not clean and crisp looking. It's beat up looking.
And Marilyn asked, do you talk with Jacob? Yes, we do. We talk to him. He's starting to come back again. For a while, we didn't hear from him because we had the munchkins and the cussing spirits, and the nasty ones had took over for a while until we kicked them out. So, matter of fact, I think we had one the other night of Jacob, and he said he was asking when will Tony be back, and I'm like, okay, I don't know Tony, but
well, we know one Tony.
But I don't think that was anything to do with it. But yeah,
I don't think he means Tony Pickman.
Well, yeah, we're talking about Tony.
That's
Yeah,
the Tony.
yeah. I don't think he meant Tony. I don't think Jacob's been to the.
Oh, maybe he likes him.
Yeah.
He's a nice dude.
Tony is a pretty cool dude.
Yes.
So I can
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, that's Tony we knew. So let's see. We're looking at other ones here. Let's see. I'm not sure. And Marilyn's asking if she should talk to Ivan and Evan each day. I don't see any problem with that. I mean, we talk to different spirits throughout the day, and a lot of times if we get an EVP from them, we'll respond and say, hey, we got your EVP, and whatever we can figure out what they're asking or what they're saying, because sometimes it has nothing to do with us.
Well, I've responded to the ones that, when I go in the front bedroom and they want to say nasty stuff, then, I have gone back in there immediately thereafter and kind of told them what I thought.
Yeah.
And it wasn't very nice, but
well,
I figured
they started it.
They did start
They
it.
started it.
I had one, I'm going to call him a dude, that, every time I'd walk in there, he'd call me names. So he was really nasty one night. So, it dinged when I came out, so we knew we got something. So listen to it. So I went back there and in there and I told him, I said, well, I might be such and such, but
at least I'm not dead.
Yeah, at least I'm not dead. So that wasn't nice of me, but I had to say something.
Sorry.
Yeah, it gets a little juvenile around here once in a while.
Well, it's like when we were sleeping in bed and we found the EVP and it's sitting there, and I get up, to use the restroom.
The Munchkin voice.
And it's the Munchkins, and I think it went something like, look at that one.
Look at that pig.
Look at that pig.
No, look at that one.
And then she's laughing, but then the other one goes, no, look at that one. And it's talking to her. open, she kind of spoke up to some. She said, "Oh, they're talking about you." That's another one. Well, look at that one. We're like, "Come on, man."
They're making fun of you.
Yes,
They're making fun of the both of you.
Yeah.
Well, she thought it was talking to me, but it was talking to. There was a second one, and the second one spoke up and said, "No, look at that one."
And that's what I. Yep. And that's when I told them, okay, you guys want to call us names? If I ever see you face to face, I'm gonna smush your little butts with my thumb.
Yep.
Yeah. It really is funny. As long as you can laugh about it.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Marilyn, you're welcome. Anytime we can help you, Marilyn. And James,
Yeah, of course.
something
For
James said some
sure.
hots for Kim.
Well,
I don't blame him. She's pretty hot.
We have the one that likes to refer to me as Red.
Because of her red hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he has the hots, but he definitely likes my red hair. And in fact, we have the one. Well, we took a snapshot of the video because it shows, I guess the spirit hand reaching out, touching my head when I was getting off the bed after I did a recording session in there when we were having so much activity. And I went to get off the bed and it reached out and touched my hair and had that same thing happen, in the front bedroom, where it's literally the hand and part of the arm that is got its hand right kind of like that. So it's really kind of creepy looking, but yeah.
Yeah, I keep, every time we get a voice or a word or a name, I keep a little log, and it's kind of interesting what they say. Probably the longest EVP we had 37 words in it.
Yep.
And
That's
I'll
a
read
lot.
what it kind of says. Well, it goes, collect him, then it says, see Catherine, and it says, just do it. Then you hear, stay away from me. Now make up, and then you hear, that's all I heard. Is it? Then it says, mommy. Then you have children singing. It says, what's one? Then it says, what I taste in you. And it said, what is strap? And this part I like. It said, bless us in this house. And it says, tunnel. Now, this one was one of the EVPs that had that stuff we like to add called snoring.
Yeah.
So we had to put it on our computer with our software, because that way we can kind of pick out individual words and stuff. So that one took a while to kind of dissect and figure out what exactly was said, because a lot of the words were underneath other words and in between snores and stuff. But once we were able to decipher it, it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, in fact, as far as, deciphering EVPs and things, that's where we rely on, PTF and KD and
Mm-hmm. One of the investigators for PTF, Dan, has been reviewing our EVPs, and he's going to get back with us. And but so far, some of the feedback he said was, it was he said some of the words that are spoken backwards.
He said there'll be words spoken normally and then some backwards. And he said that, that's, he thinks that's because of the portal.
Right. And then possibly might have a vortex effect to it also.
Right.
And we've had where we were doing a recording, and it was doing a really very active thing, in which were interesting. Now it could be mechanical with the recorder, but okay, imagine you're doing a recording, and then when you play it back, the end is at the beginning, and then the beginning, and then it goes back to the beginning, and it's like it's all over, and you had stuff talking over talking. It was like it just got completely jumbled up. It was
it was active in the house, and so I got out Reggie, my divining rods, And
Reg.
Yeah, Reggie. he,
Her little
he picked his own name, by the way. Anyway, and so I was in the bedroom using my divining rods, and it was during that session and David recorded it, and the recording was just all jumbled up, just totally
really
jumbled
weird.
up.
Yeah.
And so was like, well, gosh, we thought we were going to have a really neat session recorded, and it was just one big jumbled up mess.
Mary, that also happened at a time that we were getting EVPs that would repeat themselves.
Yeah.
Where you'd have it might I'm trying to see one where say you're not so one of them said you're not so perfect, and then it would repeat it. Then it would almost go almost like it was going backwards and then forwards. It was just a time and period that it was probably the most active we ever had. It was crazy.
We had like a week of just total mayhem here a couple weeks ago. That it was, we're always active. We're kind of last night and the night before, I would call it a lull because we've only had a few EVPs, but this was like constant activity. We were feeling the the energy. Literally, it felt like when you walked into this one spot, it felt like you had something just holding you to the ground, and a current running through you. All the hair stood up, and but it was like your feet were glued to the ground. But it was intense, and so we what are you doing?
Oh, I'm just sorry. I was just looking at some of the ones we had. I was researching, honey. All right, let's see.
Jane had to leave.
All right, Jane, go get your wine.
Yeah. Anyone else have any questions? I think we're losing our folks.
Yeah, over here it's past bedtime.
Oh, yeah.
It's 1:30.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so you need to get up early.
That's right. So we don't go.
I do have to get up pretty early. But I'm used to it. Yeah.
So we'll let you go, and we'll do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because you have so much to tell. So I will get you back on a talk a few times more.
Right.
For sure.
Right. Yeah, Mary, go ahead, and I'll be posting stuff on your site so everybody can see what we've been talking about.
Love you, Mary.
Love you, Mary.
Love you too. And thank you for sharing your story. I will say in Dutch now. Thea, ik weet dat je nog aan het kijken bent. Er wordt op GoStock van allerlei bewijs geplaatst. Wat je kunt gaan kijken, zodat je EVP's kunt afluisteren en ook de beelden daarbij kunt zien. En Marilyn, thank you for joining. And Kim and David, it's such a pleasure to talk to you finally.
Nice talking to you too, Mary.
Nice talking to you too.
Have a good time in Greece.
Yeah, I will. But before that, I will spam you with everything. And over there, I do have a connection, so I keep following everything.
Oh, good.
So
you take us with you.
Yeah, please.
I will show you a bit. I will show you a bit for sure. So I'm going to wish you a very pleasant evening. Enjoy
Thank you.
it, and you still have to eat. So have a good meal,
All right, thank you. You do the same.
and yeah,
For having us
I
on.
will. Yeah,
Take plenty of pictures of your vacation. We'd love to see them.
I will. I will post it on Facebook. I promise.
All right. Love
Thanks,
you,
Mary.
Mary.
We'll see you later.
Okay, love you
Bye bye.
too.
All right,
Talk to
bye.
you soon. Bye bye. So everyone, thank you for joining, and the clip will be on Facebook, on my personal page, and on Ghost Talk, only for friends. So you can look back. We disconnected a few times, but that's life. For everyone, have a pleasant evening in Nederland. Slaap lekker en tot de volgende keer. Doei doei.